I will not be getting another rhinoplasty. No. Hello. Welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel. I'm Jessica, and of course, this is my channel. Okay, I didn't think I'd be doing a year-and-a-half post. How do I say this? A year-and-a-half revision rhinoplasty update video, but here I am. Okay, this actually got sparked. This idea got sparked because I got a comment which was a question like a month ago from a username called Mercedes something. I'll just put it here. And then I was like, okay, if I'm going to make this video, might as well just ask you guys in the community tab to ask me more questions. I can just put everything all in one. And I have a few updates to say, so it's just like boom, 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 boom. And now we're here. This is also, I think, my first video where I'm standing up right now. If I sit down right now, like, I feel like the background won't be as clean as it looks right now, you know? These are just bike helmets for me and my boyfriend, but just don't mind that, okay? This is the best I can do right now. But let's just get right into it. So before I start all my updates, I always tell you the outline, not the outline, but like the brief history of when I got each rhinoplasty, because I have had 2 so far, and I want you to know how far apart they are and everything, and then we'll get into this video. I also had a midday coffee, so I'm feeling like very, you know. Okay, let's just start. So the first rhinoplasty I got was December 2019. That was by Dr. Bora, or Dr. OK Bora. I don't know how to say his name, honestly. I just call him Dr. Bora. That was the first one. I did not love the results. Like, I thought I did it initially, but my original nose, okay, when I say original nose, it just means the nose I was born with. My original nose and my first rhinoplasty nose were like too similar. It just didn't look like much was done, okay? And I just wanted a little bit more snatched results. 2 years later, so December 2021, I got my revision rhinoplasty, and that was by Dr.Celik. Dr. Emrah Celik. And now we're in June 2023, so I'm a year-and-a-half post-op for my revision rhinoplasty. And yeah, here we are. I always get this question like, oh my god, I'm gonna go to Dr. Bora, but like, should I still go, blah blah blah. I always say, like, if you want to be more on the natural side of results, go to Dr. Bora. I have a friend who has a friend that went to Dr. Bora. She loves her results. Everything went fine, everything went perfect. That's that. I know, I'm like scared to say this, but I know that Dr. Bora is on a few like botched list. I don't know, I honestly can't say much about that. Like, do your research, do your due diligence. Don't just watch one YouTube video of someone going to a specific doctor and be like, I'm gonna go to that surgeon as well. Please no, do your research. If it means that you get your surgery later in date because you still have more research to do, you still have to check out all these doctors, just let that be. Because I know, like, when you really want a surgery and you're just like, I'm just gonna go to the first doctor. I hear this doctor is good, I'm gonna go to that doctor. That is almost kind of what I did with Dr. Bora, just because like he was like the most popular ethnic rhinoplasty surgeon at the time that I was doing my first surgery. Why can't I speak? And yeah, I just kind of chose him. I didn't do too much research. I knew that he gave, like, I liked his Instagram page, so I knew his results were like good. Also, I'm gonna say the differences between my first and my second rhinoplasty, but they're mostly the same. Like, they're both in Turkey. Both of them I got like the package, so it's like the doctor, the pickup from the airport, pickup from the hotel, back to the hospital. Basically, you're just getting driven around to the mandatory places you have to go. I know now that Dr. Bora doesn't have that package thing anymore. Dr. Emrah Celik, he still does the packages and stuff, but that's that. At this point, I still 100% recommend Dr. Emrah Celik. I have nothing bad to say about him. He is literally a gem. If you have been watching a little bit of my history, or I guess like my vlogs from when I was doing the whole rhinoplasty thing, because I vlogged the whole journey of my first rhinoplasty and second, playlist or something will be up there. But you would know that I got a little bit too impatient the last time around, and I kind of ripped my stitches out. Not kinda, I did. I'm sorry, I did. And thank God I was in Turkey already for like a 3-week thing with my friend, and I was able to go back to Celik like a couple days after, and he just stitched everything up. Honestly, I deserve the stern talking to, because who does that? Like, why would they do that? But it's in the past. It's in the past, it's over, we're done. Next, okay, you guys can see my nose here. I do have makeup on, obviously. I have foundation on, but I don't have any concealer or anything that like brightens or makes angles is literally, this is all just one color. But here you go. Why do I always have a mustache when I do this? I hate it. Side profile, I'm always scared about this because I don't know how to look to the side. This way. Forgot to do the nostrils. Nostrils, I just, okay, do I have boogers? That's embarrassing. Nostrils, I don't know. I've never really had an issue with them, but that's fine. Oh, this scar. Let's focus on that. Yep, there. And then I have this scar here, which is like, whatever, don't care. You guys already know this from the other video. This scar is a little bit more pronounced, but I was always, okay, why do I say this in every update video? I'm like, maybe I'll do like microdermabrasion or like something. I don't care. Like if I actually really cared, I would do more to try and like limit my scars or like hide them more. But it's so minimal that it doesn't make me like have a drive to change it, you know? I'm just like, no, don't know. I've never done microdermabrasion in my life, but maybe one day I will in the future. Literally said this 6 months ago in my last video, but I don't care. I don't care that much. And let me also say, I think this scar, I had it after my first surgery, so it's just like in the fold, whatever. This one, the one that's a little bit more pronounced, I think this is from when I ripped my stitches out. So it's my fault. It's my own wrongdoing, telling you guys the truth. We're gonna be open and honest here. Next, I wanna show you guys my rib scar because my first rhinoplasty was closed. So it was a closed rhinoplasty. Hopefully you guys know what that means. It just means like they don't open it all the way up. I'll put pictures here of like closed and open. And then I had an open rhinoplasty for my second surgery, and he took a piece of my rib cartilage and put it in my nose, which is why it made it look like super, you know? I believe you can still get the look without doing an open rhinoplasty or like having rib cartilage, but it just won't be as pronounced. The thing is, with my face shape, my nose like just looks good with it, okay? My nose will not look good on everyone, and there's some people's nose out there that will not look good on me. So keep that in mind. The shape of your face will really reflect in what nose looks best on you. Onto the rib scar. Okay, I'm sweating a little bit, so let me take away my sweats. This is my rib scar, 1.5 years post-op. I don't know. I don't really care as well. It's just there. If you're really worried about the scars, if you really care, just do a lot of like the silicone strips. What's the other thing? The silicone gel, bio oil. Just do a lot more than me. I'm literally not here to be like, this is what you should do. I'm just showing you guys my experience. I don't really care for it to be perfect and for it to be gone. Like after a while, I'm just like, whatever. And also too, I did get my boobs done like 6, 7 years ago, a long time ago. So, and I got a lift as well. So you can see some of my breast surgery scars as well. So I kind of like knew going into the surgery how my rib scar would heal. I feel like I definitely did more for my breast surgery scars like in the beginning, because that was like my first surgery ever, and I'm like, oh my god, how am I gonna scar and stuff. But I don't know, for the rib scar, it's so little. I feel like, yeah, it's so little. It's right there. It's completely flat, which we'll talk about that. Oh, you can see. No, you can't. I think you can see my boob scar, but no. It's completely flat. I think that's also why I'm very relaxed about my rib scar, because if you know about the whole thing, this is what my rib scar looked like in the beginning. I thought I was keloiding. I've never had a keloid before, and I didn't know like what this would turn into. Thank god it's just like nothing now. It's just like flat, a little bit dark, but that's fine. And I think I'm just so happy that it didn't turn into a keloid that I'm just like, I don't care how dark it is, because the keloid is like raised, and it's just too much for me. It's just too much. Okay, so I think I'm just so happy that it didn't turn into a keloid. I was just like overreacting. If you know the whole thing, my friend was coming from Canada, and I was like, you need to bring me what did she bring me? Silicone strips immediately. Like, you need to bring it before you even come to Turkey. I'm like, don't even come to Turkey. No, I didn't say that, but I was thinking like, don't even come to Turkey if you're not going to bring the strips. But she brought it, everything was fine. I started using the strips like literally too early, maybe too early. I think like less than a week after the surgery, because I was just like, there is no way. There's no way. I say, if you're scared of like having a scar and you really want like an open rhinoplasty, I think it's still worth it. Personally, I obviously, not I think, I know it's still worth it. I believe it's still worth it. I scar a little bit more darker than average, so that's that. After some time of like putting on these gels and creams and strips, I'm like, can this just be over with? And one day I just like, didn't really give up. I was like, okay, I'm done. Like, whatever, this is, I don't want to say this is the best it's gonna look, but I was just like, you get to a point where you just don't care anymore. Some people, I can't speak for everyone, but I'm speaking for myself. Do I notice any difference from the 1 year to the 1 year and 6 month mark within the past 6 months? Not really. I wouldn't really say so. Maybe like a milliliter less wide, but like very small. But I'm not really surprised because I noticed this from last time as well. After my 1 year mark, I did see a little bit of changes as well, but obviously it wasn't enough changes for me, which is why I went in for round duo. I will not be getting another rhinoplasty. No. I thought about this, not thought about it like I wanted to do it, no. Thought about it in a way as like, I just would never do it like electively, which is like, do it because of aesthetic reasons. I would never want to do it again. It's just such an annoying healing process, and there's like, I always talk about this in my update videos. I think it's day 2 and 3, where you're just like, what am I doing to myself? Like, why am I here? Obviously, I think it's worth it, yes. But it's like, when you do it 2 times, like there will not be a third for me. I'll tell you that right now. And like the only way I will go through this process again is if I literally have to. Like, if I get into a car accident, get into a fight. Who am I fighting? Who am I fighting? I'm so freaking Italian now living here. I really wish for those who are watching this video right now and like are looking into getting rhinoplasty, that one, you just do your research, you find a doctor that like can give you what you want, you do it one time, it goes well, and you're done. That is my deepest desire for you, because I'm telling you right now, the second time, it's not fun. The first time you don't really like, you know, you don't really get the like you just do it. You not just, but you do it and it's done. Okay, the second time you're just like, no, again. Like, not throughout the whole process, but throughout the healing process, post-op, once you wake up, you're just like, oh my god. And you guys already know about the whole thing of like my IV and everything. No, I can't even go through it again, because some of you have been following my journey since the first surgery, and it's like, I don't want to repeat things that you probably already heard me say like at least 3 or 4 times now, but that's a whole thing in itself. I don't plan on getting a third. I do not want a third. I'm in love with my nose right now. Don't want to change anything about it. Boom, we're done. Now we're gonna get into the questions. Okay, so the first question from Mercedes Long 4178. Sorry, I just looked outside because I saw like a ghost. Can you make an updated video on your rhinoplasty? I'm doing that right now. And can you talk about how people treat you and how you feel overall? Yes, I can do that. Okay, so after my rhinoplasty, after the first and after the second, people didn't treat me differently at all. I really do think this is because, as I said earlier, I really feel like my nose fits the shape of my face. And yes, I do think like if it was a little bit more obvious, like if my nose, if it was botched, or if it was like too snatched, or if it just didn't look good on my face, yeah, maybe people would treat me differently. Maybe I'd get stares, maybe I'd get looks, maybe like I just wouldn't be treated the same. But honestly, the treatment has been the same. Nothing has been different at all. Like sometimes on TikTok, I'll get comments like, oh my god, your nose is perfect, love your nose, whatever. And most of the time I'll just reply being like, LOL, 2 nose jobs later, thank you, or like, oh well, surgery did me well. I'll just make a joke like saying that I got surgery. Sometimes yes, you'll see me, I'll just be like, oh thanks, thank you, heart, whatever. But most of the time I'm just telling the truth, like this is not my natural nose. Obviously I'm not hiding it. If I vlog my whole journey for the first rhinoplasty, whole journey for the second, I put videos on YouTube all the time talking about it. I'm not trying to hide it, but obviously not everybody knows the whole history. Okay, we're on the next comment. This is from took me a while to like get in my head. Moylin Karoma 4177. There's 1, 2, 3 questions in one. So the first thing is, did you always have a bridge? Yes, but no. Like yes, I had a bridge, but it obviously wasn't as like pronounced as it is right now. Like it did not look like that. Next, she asks, if not, what made you want to get one? I just wanted a more, I don't want to say pronounced, maybe I mean pronounced nose, or more snatched but also like built up, and obviously when you're building it up it's gonna affect your bridge. So that's just what made me get one, and I thought like it would look good on me. And then the last question in it goes to London one time, thinks she's like British, you know. Does the tip of your nose ever get soft again, or does it stay hard forever, even after a year? Right now, it's obviously hard in the beginning. Like we all know this. It's like just swollen, it's hard, there's lots of things are happening. Your nose just went through trauma. And when I say that, I'm like serious. Your nose went through trauma. Like having surgery is not an easy thing. It's not an easy thing, like in general, number one, but number two, to your body, because there's, you know, there's all this knives, there's so much happening. There's so much happening, right? So right now, this, I don't know how to explain it. It's not, okay, let me say, it's not hard. It's definitely more soft than, like it gets softer over time. I wonder how it's gonna feel like in the 2-year mark. But I don't know how to explain it. Yes, it gets softer over time. That's to answer your question, yes. But I do think when you have your cartilage in there, it's not like you can't like manipulate, I don't know if you can, so I'm not a doctor. I was gonna say you can't manipulate the shape of your cartilage, but like you can't really make your cartilage get softer, right? Unless, like, yes you can, like in your knee cartilage. Did you guys hear that? My knee just broke. In your knee cartilage, your cartilage does get softer, yes, but like up to a certain point, you know? It's not like your knees where like people need knee surgery after some time because their cartilage has been weighed down to nothing, right? So you're gonna feel it. Like you're gonna feel like it doesn't feel 100% natural. I'll tell you that right now. It doesn't feel 100% natural, but that's just what happens when you're taking something from one part of your body into another. That's that. But let me just say, if you aren't getting cartilage into your nose, I remember after my first rhinoplasty, like after a year, or yeah, I think it's even after like 8-9 months, I was able to like make it flat, like just play around with my nose like it was a normal nose, like doing whatever, because there was no cartilage, like there's no rib cartilage in my nose at that point, and it's just, I could like play around. I was flexible, basically. My nose was flexible like a normal nose, but now it's not as flexible. Like I cannot, like I can, yeah, touch it and stuff, but there's gonna become a point where, like, you know, it can move, like it's fine, all that's all handy dandy, but this, like you can feel, is what I'm trying to say. I'm getting a little bit hot. Okay, maybe I should drink some water. I think it's the caffeine running through me. Why was that a commercial? Whoa. Okay, last question from, I want to say Debbie, but it looks like DB. DB5339. Did your nostrils ever feel stiff? Okay, honestly, I'm just realizing right now, I did not like pre-read the questions. I kind of like really fastly skimmed through them, but both of them I commented just like, thank you, the video will be up on Sunday. So I'm like reading these for the first time, which is like, you guys are seeing the live reaction. So basically, did your nostrils ever feel stiff? If yes, when did it start to feel like it was normal? So as I said in the last question, basically, it really depends if you're getting cartilage in or not. Either way, yes, it's gonna feel stiff in the beginning, just because, like, as I said, you're going through trauma, your nose, it's like healing, there's swelling, it's all that happening. So yes, it feels stiff in the beginning. If you have no cartilage in it, after months like 8, 9, 10, like, okay, over time, every month, it gets less stiff, that's for sure. But if you have no cartilage in it, around month 8, month 9, you can like play around with your nose, flexible, whatever, and not be like scared that something's gonna happen. If you do have cartilage in it, I'm not scared of like bumping my nose. Like obviously I don't try to purposely, and I'm not scared of anything bad happening to my nose, and it's not as stiff anymore. As you guys can see, all the movement and stuff, me trying to put my makeup back on. But yes, there is a stiffness to it in the bridge part of your nose, if you have cartilage in it, because it's just, there's something in your nose, which is cartilage, not your nose cartilage, but your rib cartilage in your nose. So that is that. Did you have to deal with feeling congested long after the surgery? Example, at night, during, or after exercise, months after surgery? Yes, but I think that's just normal for any rhinoplasty. Just so much blood and liquids and just stuff in your nose. You're putting stuff in your nose too, like every, I don't know, definitely every morning and night, maybe even the daytime too. I don't remember every step for the post-op. Look at me holding my computer like so seriously. Yeah, you're just putting stuff in your nose in the morning and at night. You're spraying, especially like when you're like a month after and you're having the saline and you're cleaning out your nose, and you're not supposed to like blow your nose so hard, but like I did. I always say don't do what I do, but do what I say. Yeah, so you do feel congested in the beginning. I think that's just everyone. It's just normal to feel congested. But obviously after some time, like when your nose starts healing more, you do feel less congested. You're not gonna feel the way you feel, like the way you feel for month 1 is not how you're gonna feel a year later, no way. It's just the beginning, so it's normal. Don't worry about it. Over some time, like you're gonna be less congested, things are gonna be healing in your nose and everything will be perfectly fine. Yes, at night is difficult, but like, you just part of the process, right? It's just part of the deal or the package deal that you're getting. If you're gonna get rhinoplasty, know that you'll be congested for some time. Never during exercise, but I remember sometimes after exercise. I feel like during your workouts in the beginning, it feels like almost too open. It just feels like you're so clear, but I don't know. I think sometimes after exercise you feel a little bit congested. It's normal, it's fine. It's just like, I think it's something to do with like your nose. Honestly, why do I think I'm a doctor today? I'm like, I think it's because your nose and the air, like your nose you're just getting used to breathing with your new nose. It's fine, it's fine. How long did it take for your nose to finally settle into its final shape? This is so hard. You hear this all the time when people say it takes a year to settle into your final shape. I agree with that. I think at a year, you get to see a very good representation of what your nose will look like. I will say, because it happened to me during or after both surgeries, after a year, you'll still see some changes. The changes will be very minimal, but you will see some changes. I can only just say a year. I don't want to say like 7 months, 8 months, 9 months. Yes, after every month, your nose will form more into the final shape that's going to be, but I can't say anything less than a year. Like, it would just be wrong for me to say that, so I'm gonna just say a year because that's what the surgeons say, that is my experience, and that's just the truth. Your nose at 6 months will not look like it does at 1 year. 7 months will not look like it does at 1 year. Honestly, I've seen like pictures and videos that like even at 9 months, it may not look like it does in the 1 year mark. And it's different for everyone. We all have different ways of healing, but we all heal differently. So that's the best I can say. I'm so sorry. I wish I could be like, you know, 7 months and you'll know. But for some people, they are still so swollen at 7 months. And then when it comes to the 12-month mark or even 13-month mark, they're like, holy shit, my nose looks completely different. The last question is, did you notice a difference in recovery from your primary? Yes. Yes. I said that very confidently. Yes, only because I think a revision is harder. You're going in for the second time, scar tissue has built up, and it's just more different. I'm adding the cartilage into my nose. I went from a closed rhinoplasty to an open. For my primary surgery, day 2 and day 3 were hard. They were hard, okay? But for my revision, day 2 and day 3 were terrible. Like, it was hard and terrible at the same time. So that's sad. That's why I say I will not be going for a third. I will literally, like, my nose has to be broken for me to go for a third rhinoplasty. I'm just so over surgery in general. Honestly, I do have one more surgery I want to do, which is an explant, but not yet. Like, maybe in like 10 years. I'm still like loving my boobs, loving myself, but I think like down the road in the future, yes. As of right now, I have no issues with them. I love them. Okay, not me. Relax, Jessica, relax. But I do know that at one point in the future, when it gets to that point where it's like you have to either switch them out or take them out, I'm gonna just end up taking them out because I just want that one final surgery later down the line, and that will be it. Why did I go on a little tangent? But yes, second rhinoplasty, definitely found it harder than the first. So some of you guys already know this, some of you guys this is like new news, but another reason that I did my second, which was, yes, of course it was the aesthetic reason as well, because I felt like it just looked too similar to my original nose. But number two is because when I was sniffing, when I was inhaling in through my nose, sometimes I would hear a whistling sound. And that was this whole situation because I talked to the doctor, Dr. Bora. They said this has never happened to anyone before. I did my research. I realized that it was, I had a perforated septum, yes, which is basically a hole in your septum. How did that happen? Because I didn't have that issue before the surgery. I'm just saying my experience. This is just the truth, okay? So that was a whole issue, and then I'm like, this is just annoying. Like, I don't want to be hearing my nose whistle. And this is why literally my deepest desire, as I said earlier, for anyone who wants rhinoplasty, is that you do your research and find the best surgeon for you. Because when I was doing my research, yes, I found Dr. Bora, but he's not an ENT. I don't know if he is now. I don't even keep up with like much going on in the rhino world. But he's not an ENT, which is an ear, nose, and throat doctor. It's like an extra specialty basically, right? So I didn't even really know much about ENTs when I was first doing my rhinoplasty. I didn't know. I just saw like his Instagram looked good. He looked like a good doctor. And I went to Turkey and I did it. I don't know. Truthfully, when I was finding my second surgeon, I was like, I need to do so much research and I need to find like literally the best doctor that can do this for me. And I don't know if you guys know, but it was between Celik and Taskin. I think it's Taskin. But basically Celik just had the dates that I wanted because I wanted to go like literally I had like 2 or 3 dates I wanted to go, and then he could just do that for me. Honestly, I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I did see that Taskin was on a few botch lists, but like at this point, which doctor isn't? I haven't seen Celik on them yet though, okay? I may be a little bit biased because yes, I went to him, but I'm also telling the truth, I have not seen him on any botch list. That's just what I see. So when I was doing my research for my second surgeon, I wanted to make sure that that surgeon was ENT certified or an ENT surgeon as well, because I want to get the whistling fixed. Like it was kind of like a 2-in-1 deal. I'm like, I don't want to just get it aesthetically fixed. I want to get the internal stuff fixed as well. Like I want to get my septum fixed because I have a fucking hole in it. Sorry, I don't really like to swear on this channel, but sometimes it just comes out. I have a hole in it, and like not y'all, but like I just need both fixed. Like I wouldn't do the aesthetic and still have the whistling. It's just like, I don't know, for me, I just wouldn't feel 100% satisfied and 100% happy. When I had my consultation with Celik, and then when I actually met him in person and stuff, he's like, yeah, like we can do this. I felt like confident in him, right? And then after the surgery, he did that. He did that. You know that meme? You did that. We're even talking a little bit about it in cast off day, I believe. I vlogged that whole video. It'll be somewhere there. But yeah, I'm happy that he was able to do that, because whistling as a side effect of your rhinoplasty is not fun, okay? It's not fun. And I did say in my last video too, the whistling is not 100% gone, but it's like 97% gone. I don't know why, but sometimes when the air is like too dry or too humid, my nose will just get clogged up and I just can't like intake air through my nose properly, and it'll just like, I don't know, it's not really whistling, it just sounds like clogged, right? But I'm just happy that that situation is over with. But what I do notice is that when I'm sleeping beside my boyfriend at night, whenever my nose feels like clogged and like I can't like breathe properly, he'll also be like, you know, the same thing. So I'm like, hey, it's not just a me thing, it's like literally the air is maybe just like too dry or too humid, whatever. We don't have a humidifier, but that's besides the point. I'm glad this whistling is done with, because guys, it was actually getting super annoying. Like, I never said this before, I'm gonna say it now. There were some points when the whistling was so much in like certain YouTube videos that, like, let's say I was talking, I inhaled and I whistled, I'd have to like cut that part out. Because I'm like, why do you want to hear talk? I'm like, what? No. Research will always be the #1 thing I tell you guys to do. I did also make another video where it was like the things they don't tell you about rhinoplasty. You guys already know. You guys already know, it's up there. The last thing I want to say is that I'm sorry. And this is because okay, so basically I had an Instagram. I took like almost a year break from it. I just went back on like less than a month ago, literally just to deactivate it to make a new Instagram. When I was looking at my old Instagram, I saw in my DMs, there was like, I'm gonna say 30, maybe around 30, 25 to 30, let's say, messages from you guys asking me all these rhino questions, okay? A lot of them, not a lot of them, but some of them are obviously like older, from like, let's say, because I took away that Instagram in like June, like last June. And some of them were from June, July, August, all of 2022. And it's like, I really went on that profile just to like really get rid of it, like deactivate it. But I didn't answer. I think I answered maybe one of you guys. One of you guys had like an easy question I could just answer, because I didn't want to answer you guys and then delete my Instagram right after, right? So first of all, I'm saying I'm sorry, because I know like in all my past videos I was like, if you have any questions, just DM me and I'll get to you. Or I said DM or email. I did say that, I think. DM or email me and I'll get to you. And there were so many of you guys I couldn't get to, which I'm so sorry about. And I didn't really make an announcement that I was deleting my Instagram. One day I just like literally deleted the app off my phone, which kind of makes it worse on your end, because like it looks like my profile is still there, but I was not uploading, I was not going on Instagram, I didn't even have the app, and you guys were sending me stuff, and I feel so bad. I feel so bad, because I know a lot of you guys, I did read through like most of the questions, and they were like not concerning questions, but like general questions, which I would have loved to answer during that time, but I just did not have the app to answer. I just needed a month break, not a month. I thought it was going to be 2 weeks or like a month, ended up being a whole friggin' year and 11 months. But that's besides the point. I did make a new Instagram. It's right here. There's not really much on it. I have the app, okay? I don't plan on deleting it anytime soon. So once again, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, anything about rhinoplasty, or honestly anything in general, reach me on Instagram, DM me on Instagram. I will respond, I will reply, I will answer you guys. I'm very sorry if you did send me something last year or even like early this year and I just didn't reply and you think like I'm rude, you think I'm a bitch, but I'm not. I just had to take a break from that app, okay? Next, if you want a community with people who have gone to Celik, are going to Celik, planning on going to Celik, anything about Dr. Emrah Celik, there is a WhatsApp group that I can add you to. Basically, once again, just DM me on Instagram or email me. Whatever way you want to contact me, you can contact me and I'll send you the link to the WhatsApp group. There's amazing people in there. Everyone's like very great, very helpful. I think, okay, I don't keep up with it too much, to be honest. I like sometimes I'll just read it from time to time. Stretching my legs. If I'm not mistaken, I think I saw that they're making subgroups, as in like, let's say December 2024, everyone going to Celik at that time, they're in one group as well, so you guys can communicate and maybe meet with each other. Did I just make that up? No. Okay, maybe they don't have subgroups, but they have this. Oh, sorry, my phone is plugged into my thing. So you can see how you can see the groups. Is that focusing? Maybe now, hold on, I have to get out. See, so you can see who's going with you at the same time, the same dates. This is why I always talk about this WhatsApp group. Everyone there is so helpful, so kind, so genuine. Why? My brain works so differently. I just remember one time there was like a little fight in there. I don't know, I was eating my popcorn watching it, but like, you know, 99.99% of the time, everything's fine, everything's great, everyone's helping each other, they're all sending like pictures, post-op, asking questions, helping each other. It's amazing. So that's why I will always recommend going to that group. Or honestly, if you're going to a different surgeon, try to find the group for that surgeon as well, because I'm sure there's people in that group who can help you. And yeah, it may not seem like it, but I've been standing here for about an hour. This video is probably going to be about half an hour, I feel like, give or take. Who knows? Who knows how much I'll cut out and how much I'll leave in. But I think I'm going to be cutting out, like, just my phone calls and stuff. You know? So, that is that. Let me just check my list one more time to make sure I didn't forget anything. I didn't. I talked about everything. Obviously, if you have anything else to say and or add, just leave a comment on this video as well. And I reply in the comments. I reply to basically every comment. So, thank you guys so much. I appreciate each and every single one of you. I will see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.